get started with Nils Höglander and the contract extension from yesterday? How did that come together for you guys?
Well, I think Nils have earned it. Going back 2 years ago when I was sitting in my office with him and making the hard decision for him going down to Abbotsford and kind of resetting his game and learning how to play the right way. He wasn't happy about it, but he accepted it and he trusted the organization, and he got better ever since. And the way he carried himself, I think it's important for all our young players to see the commitment to his fitness level and the way he plays and the way he practices every day. And he's still young, and we believe that there is more to come in his game.
Can you walk us through the Yuri Patera situation and how that unfolded for you guys?
I think Boston apologized, but that's part of the business. And Yuri, he told the staff in Abbotsford how much he liked it and he wanted to be part of it, and we're excited to continue to work with him. So he's a good goalie and a good depth guy for us.
And Aturatu makes the team out of camp this year. What did you guys like so much about what he did?
Same there. I think Adu now is going into his third year pro and learning the details, playing a 200-foot game, very smart, committed, and just coming in every day to prove something. And he earned every day here. That being said, it's not going to get any easier. You're going to continue to work hard, and the competition we have on the roster spots, and so far he's still here.
How difficult was it to have the conversation with Archdeep that he was heading back to Abbotsford with the camp that he had, the summer that he had, because he looked like he was in great shape?
Absolutely. It was tough. Rick and I met him this morning. We still have a couple of days before opening night. Things could change, but again, very pleased with his season last year, the way he prepared himself for the summer. And I thought he... from Penticton to yesterday, I thought he'd just get better and better, and especially the last two games against full lineup of Edmonton there, I thought he carried himself really well. So we're definitely excited. It's still in the mix. Talk hasn't made up his mind for the lineup on Wednesday yet, so we'll see here what the next day of practice and we go from there.
You put Thatcher on the injured list. Any more clarity as to where he may be a month from now, weeks from now, and where do you gauge where he's at from day to day, week to week?
Yeah, Thatcher and Thatcher and Dakota is on non-roster IR. Nothing has really changed in terms of his timeline. I mean, Thatcher is very committed. He's been skating almost every day on his own or with the injured guys, and he's doing his rehab. I think at this point, the luxury of having Seeloffs and Lankinen here, we don't feel we need to rush Thatcher, and I think that's important for his long-term health and also being around the guys here. He seems to be very upbeat and good spirit, and he's coming along really well.
We've heard the same thing about Dakota as well, that Rick said he was probably going to go out on that first road trip. Is he making progress? Is he skating?
Dakota has been skating, I believe, for a week now with Jason Krog and Demko in the morning. So he's definitely making progress, and he's same thing there. It's been a tough couple of months for him here, but being around the guys and being around the team, he definitely is making progress here.
What can you tell us about Brandstrom and sort of your plans there? And was that a player that you had any interest in the summertime when he was available?
We talked about Brandstrom within our staff with his ability to move pucks and power play option. We didn't feel that, I think there are two things. I think the competition we had and the makeup of our roster at that time, we felt there wasn't really a fit there, but definitely a guy that our pro scouts seeing as an option for us. That he cleared waivers here means we can continue to work with him and hopefully being a depth option and letting some of the younger players grow their game more in Abbotsford.
With what you were able to do today, I mean, you had 13 forwards, you have guys on IR, but nobody on LTIR. how much of a game changer for setting the roster was the Poolman trade and getting that flexibility?
Yeah, as I said, we had different options, different ideas if we weren't able to execute a trade there, but definitely helps us. Definitely helps the competition with some flexibility here now. And I think all good teams have depth and all good teams have the internal competition. So I'm happy for our coaches to have harder decisions to make here now. Good for the younger players to get a chance for the call-ups, and I think it's going to be a lot of hungry younger players in Abbotsford this year.
And if you think back to a month ago, before training camp and where the organization was, so there was obviously uncertainty in goal. You knew that you were up against the cap and might have to do something. You had all these new players that were an unknown quality, and they all seem to have blended in quite well. How happy are you with the runway and the way you've positioned the team to start the season?
Obviously putting a structure and system in place have definitely helped our younger players. I think a year ago when we played preseason games, the younger players, it was tougher because the veteran guys, they were just adjusting and learning the system. We saw different here that it was easier to plug in the younger players, obviously with more experience and more talent to play and compete against, especially the last game in Edmonton there, more so a full lineup for them. And our young guys did really well. And I think as we move along here, I definitely see more younger players competing for roster spots and pushing our older guys, which is so important here. And I think that's something that I'm very pleased with. And I think we're happy how the training camp have gone here. I think the new guys have coming in and integrated really well with the team and the coaches, and we prepared ourselves really well here for opening night.
Patrik, how excited are you as a general manager at the prospect of accruing cap space this year and what that means you can do during the season?
Yeah, I think it definitely, it's easier to work not being in LTIR and the difficulties of setting your kind of roster as we did last year. I think this definitely gives us more flexibility, and as I said, I'm excited about the competition here.
In the absence of Thatcher in the short term here, how comfortable are you, how confident are you in what you've got in goal to start the season?
I'm very confident with Seeloffs and Lankinen, and Kevin had come in here with a great attitude, and he's an experienced goalie. His work ethic is pushing Seeloffs, and I think Seeloffs have responded really well. I think those guys are set us up really well, and I think the coaches obviously got to make a decision who's playing. But I'm very comfortable with those guys carrying the load here.
Patrik, how leery were you when you were building the roster as well as the style of play that Rick wants to play this year when you look at the careers that guys had last year? Because not everyone's going to have a shooting percentage like they had Nils, Brock, JT. Did that play into some of your mindset with the style you wanted to play this year and the way you constructed the roster?
Yes, obviously, Rick and I talk every day, and definitely we're sitting down after last year and looking through how do we get better, what type of player types do we need. We felt we needed more speed. I hope we can still push players to have career years ahead of them and finding the consistency now. I think that's the next level that Rick's talking about, like, Brock Besser, Nils Höglander, or Patterson, those guys having to find the consistent level. I think that's where the next level of being a good team and good individuals. And with added pieces here to give us more competition, I can already see that in practices here too, that guys are growing and pushing each other, and so far I'm been very pleased what I've seen.
Patrik, when Dakota and Thatcher come back, it might be a little bit from now, but can you tell us kind of what the plan is once everybody is healthy, how the roster might look if you're going to go with 2 2 forwards, 3 defensemen, 3 goaltenders? Like what the kind of roster will shake out like?
I think that will somehow the players will dictate that over the course of time here. Again, this gives us a chance to look at some of the younger players before Dakota and Thatcher comes back. Again, healthy competition, and nothing is set, and we have options if we want to keep 3 goalies, 13 forwards, 12 forwards. That's something that the coaches and myself will work through here over the next couple days, weeks, months, and nothing is set.
I know health is going to be the paramount thing for Thatcher, but when do you when will it be like 100% for him? Do you know?
I wish I had, but I don't. I think again he's working so hard, is so committed and determined to come back, and he's definitely getting closer. But I think we know more once he joins the team in full practice.
What have you seen from PD here through camp and the preseason games that he played? I mean, didn't necessarily stand out. He had a nice pass to Carson, obviously, but it's go time. Starting on Wednesday, the contract kicks in and all of that. Like, I think he's ready to crank things up.
Well, absolutely. I think he's excited about the new players we got here and his line, and the expectations is definitely higher. The standard is higher here now, and we're going to continue to push all our players. I think he demands more out of himself, and obviously we need him to play to his level of what he's capable of, and that line that the coach have together right now with DeBrusk and Sprong and Petey could be a very dangerous offensive line. So I think we're just going to continue to push each other here and grow as a team, and he's a big part of it. And I know that he's not satisfied. I think he always want to get better. So I think he's definitely has another level.
When we met with you at the end of the season, you sort of opened with, I'm not happy because we're eliminated and playoffs are still going on. Do you ever get to a point where you allow yourself to be optimistic, or is it?
Well, I'm not sure about that, but I do. What I do like is the internal drive here in the organization. Just, the front office, the coaching staff, the players. We always want to push each other. We want to get better, and I think that's it's a healthy sign in an organization. And every meeting I have with the coaches, we don't always agree, but we support each other in the decision, and I think that's healthy. And I think the coaches we have here, they always have the energy to push players harder, and I believe that the players like it. I believe that the players want to be in that kind of environment where they feel they grow and learn and get better. And we're going to continue to do that, and we continue to become a better team here.
When does the GM get a day off?
That's I don't know. We'll see. We'll take it later on.
How have expectations changed? I mean, last year was great. I thought you had a great summer with everyone that you brought in. It's been a good camp for everybody. Expectations obviously go up every single year, but how realistic are the expectations with what you've done?
Well, I think, again, internally, I think the players have raised the standard. They have done that. So my expectations is always higher on the individuals, but when they respond to raise the standard of practice habits and details and how they prepare themselves, it's something that thrives for the whole organization. And nothing's going to change for us. We have a lot of things to prove here every day, and the mindset we kind of created last year, that the next game mentality, that's how we want to continue to build here. We need to find a way to get better every game. We know it's going to be harder. It's never going to be any easier. So we're going to learn, and we're going to continue to push forward.
I don't know what the rules are.
And we don't like each other.
Very high.
That's the stupidest. I didn't even notice though. That's fun.
Or is this?
Generational talent.
Thanks for liking the video and subscribing.